So got to remember these numbers, right? Because it's very important. So 19th of June, when we open our show flat, you can see the confidence that the market, the pent-up demand has caused. So then, oh, maybe it's just 1 month of pent-up demand. But for the last consecutive 4 months, you can see it's up, up, and up. So I think having this graph as a visual aid and having this number 1031114213091385 for the last 4 months is very important for you to have these numbers by heart. I mean, you see, I mean, you know about I know the market is doing well. You know, but you don't have exact numbers. When you can throw exact numbers, you really give people confidence when you are like debating with them or you're talking to them or you're influencing them. All right, so all these numbers are very important. Most importantly, okay, it shows one thing. There is a 4.7% increase. 4.7, almost 5 times increase from then to over here. 5 times, right? Not 2, not 3, it's 5. So this 4.7 is a very interesting figure that you must remember. And of course, what is my another point here? Okay, so I didn't take action over here when the low transactions. Now over here, high transaction. So moving forward over here, what is it going to be? Of course, especially now when we know, number one, the e-reissue options cases have been knocked off from the market. So is this going to affect the market or not, right? So this is a very important key indicator. But another key indicator which is very important is from September when we reported this 1385, you have to bear in mind, okay, our airport, it is still closed. In fact, over here, without foreigners being able to come into Singapore, large, of course, it is still 1385. Yes, we may have the lesser reissue. I mean, we have no reissue case onwards, and you know, but importantly, we also know moving forward, the airports are going to be open. I guess not 100%, but if you read the news, there will be air travel bubbles, there will be more green lanes. You know, they have been working with Hong Kong to reach some air travel bubble. They are improving the airport screening facilities to make sure the incomings are safe. And I think this Friday, on the 6th, which is this Friday, they're going to open up the travel between China and I think Victoria of Australia. So this is slowly, surely, I mean, no doubt, yes, the vaccine is not found yet, I think, but no doubt the air travel is going to open up. And definitely, if you pinpoint back to here, definitely it's going to improve this figure with that stimulation coming in. I mean, you got to ask your client questions. Do you think so? Of course, the answer can be yes, I think so, or no, I don't think so. So from there, you can carry on. Okay. And most importantly, I think this is to paint you what is the moving forward sales momentum. Yes, you cannot 100% convince everybody, but I felt as an agent today, you must have a sales pitch that you are so fluent in. When you're out there, I think the most talked about topic between your friends or your families or your customers or your prospect, it's always about the uncertainty. Hey, moving forward, what is your opinion? I think as an agent, you must have an opinion. You cannot just blindly say, oh, buy projection, make money. But why? What is the numbers? What is the rationale? What is the pattern? What is the trend line? So for my agents, I really make sure that they have all these slides inside their phone and their iPad ready to tackle people with facts and figures. Okay, so importantly is to talk about moving forward the uncertainty, like in November, December, January, February, March. What is your prediction as a practitioner, as an agent on the ground that we deal with clients every day? You know, that's the thing. So these numbers and this 4.7 and these stories that I just shared for you in the last 10 minutes, I think these are something you have to be very smooth and very confident in sharing. Okay, so this one is purely just a couple of objectives is to show that the resilientness of the properties market. No sales, no, by right, lockdown, no, total lockdown, no. So still at 293. Once opened up only, the market, it reacted immediately, and true for the last 4 months, having these figures is 4.7 increase. And of course, then the airport thing and moving forward, because property in Singapore, especially on the CCR or even nowadays RCR, heavily reliant on foreigners because of how we are, right? So that's very important. Okay, got it? So moving forward, I like to talk about some prices. So if you plot this year, January all the way to September on the PSF, on the prices, okay, you can see generally, I would say these are all very flat. So this is a call center. Then these are the RCR and the OCR. But importantly, you look at RCR and OCR, they are generally very flat. Whereas, of course, you see CCR, it's a little bit, up and down. But I think it's expected. Why? Because number one, CCR is always the investment grade property. With the lack of foreigners, definitely it's supposed to be a little bit volatile. But look at it this way, actually, it's still very, very flat. But I think the thoughts on your buyers always, moving forward, it's not going to be good, ma. So our argument is always about why is it going to be good. So very simple. I think from here you can see a couple of things. Why is the price flat? By right, you see circuit breaker, ma. By right, the price supposed to plunge. It's supposed to plunge, isn't it? But how come it's flat? It is because I think number one, over here, it's largely supported by homeowners. Okay, over here, homeowners. And one of the key reasons it's there is really, and these are all things that we always keep saying, but do you really have the script and the pitch to say? So why is it very flat mainly for the OCR and the RCR? Is because mainly it's really for own stay. And where did this supply of people come from? Because they come from genuine people who are having a HDB flat that is reached 5 years MOP and they eventually want to cross over to a private sector. So in 2019 and beyond these 4 years, you can see from an average, this is a huge numbers. That's why we call it avalanche. So a huge number, 20 over 1,000. So these people, high chance of today that you're going to exit out from your HDB, right? And you make money from there and you get back your principals that you have paid for the last 5-7 years. It's definitely good enough for you to upgrade to a condo. And we all know if mostly the HDB, say example, you are in the Punggol, Sengkang area, high chance people buy back that area lah. Of course, I'm not saying it's a must, but high chance people buy back the area, right? So this is one of the reasons why for the CCR and for OCR and the RCR, especially OCR, it's very stable because there is a huge number of supporters that have real needs. They have a family, they buy one, they sell one, they really buy one. All right, they sometimes they buy two, but importantly, they sell one, they really buy one. Right? So that's why these transitions, you can see moving forward, these are support numbers coming in to make sure the huge number of buyers are there for this market. And importantly, for the next market we look at is the EC market. EC, as you know, in the year 2014, 15, and 16, there is really a huge supply of ECs that have gotten their keys. And of course, we know they also have an MOP of 5 years. So if you count down 2019, these are all going to MOP in 20, 21. So you can see a great number coming in altogether. Right, it's 21 ECs project that is flooding into the market. I mean, from this year to next year onwards, 21 projects there. And you all know, you pluck out any of these EC, you exit out today, you have a hefty sum of capital appreciation. You have a good 5-6 years of your principals being paid, right? And there is even cash, there will be CPF being put back. So there's a lot of liquidity, and they are all together with the liquidity of the HDB. They are all coming into the mainly the OCR and RCR market. Okay, and today we are talking about CLAVON. Of course, not particular to CLAVON, but all these pen rolls that we launched, they are all in the region of the OCR, RCR. There's a reason why they are doing well, because besides the first timer, which definitely there will be a first timer, there will also be the upgraders. So these are very huge support, right? So now we are talking about CLAVON in Clementi, right? I think it's going to be a sought after product that people want to go into, okay? And of course, I think one of the reason why these RCR and OCR, the price is stable, it is because number one reason, I mean, this is a cooling measure chart, which you all know, but my point here is cooling measures has already, especially the ABSD and the TDSR, have already put the people in place. What I'm trying to say is, you see, if you can pass your TDSR to buy a property, you're definitely a stable person, right? So there's no urgency for the sellers, you know, at the resale end to sell their property at discount. This is what the buyers are painting forward, right? They're talking about price will dip, but who wants to sell at a cheaper price when, you know, these people are all already in place? They are stable and their own stay. I mean, today, property owners yourself. Seriously, I mean, if you pass the TDSR, or even if you buy second property, you pay ABSD. Even if you don't pay ABSD, means you are definitely own stay, right? You wouldn't have the urgency. The keyword is urgency. Who would have the urgency to go and sell their property like what people have been speculating? Wow, 20% discount and all that. But let's just look forward to, okay. Every time there's this crisis, there's this SARS pandemic, there is a crisis again, cooling measures, all right? I think this is not the first time Singapore real estate is facing something. So I think if we can survive over the last couple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, and every time you can see there's an opportunity, there's an opportunity, there's an opportunity. I guess this time round, it is very clear there is another opportunity, all right? That's all this slide is supposed to do. Every slide sometimes even just show and illustrate one point. I'm happy enough to use that slide, okay? And even you look at the resale PSF, it's really relatively really flat. So, you know, so it's to say that it's really resilient, okay? And of course, we are property owners ourselves, so I think we understand what I'm talking about. So totally there is no, you know, urgency at all. And of course, why would we have urgency when even furthermore, the interest rate, it's not expensive at all. Today, interest rates are really low, you see. So you see, just imagine, you already taken your loan. Likewise, like the developer also take loan from the bank. You know, you already taken your loan is already in place, you're jolly well paying your installment, and you pass your TDSR. Why would you need, even if you fail your business or whatever, those few people that you say they need to sell, they don't have to sell at a huge discount. They can sell their property. Today, you know, all our resale, we are selling without discount, right? We're selling, you know, at profits, right? So the market is very resilient on all this. Okay, so couple of points here. So if you're not paying ABSD equals to own stay with low interest equal no urgency. If you're paying ABSD, it shows you're strong in your cash flow and you're strong in your TDSR equal, you got holding power. So, you know, so there's no rights for people to sell cheap at all. And back to the developer, like I say, developers are also having no urgency, honestly speaking. So why no urgency? Number one, also, I think they have taken their loan, everything's in place. Today's profit margin is also not high. And furthermore, a lot of projects have already sold more than 50%. So why would they have urgency to drop price? The one to up price already already, right? Still want to drop price. Of course, you know, we're trying to talk our way through with our clients. And importantly, even the developer has an extension of their completion date by 6 months, you know, so they are very much in a very good position not to drop price, you know. So in fact, today I do see a small opportunity. That's why you see, in order to build momentum, developer also sometimes are uncertain. They also worry, but in order to build momentum, that's why in a lot of projects, I mean, I'm just giving these 2 codes, okay? They are giving star buys the most is to build the momentum to push sales. So seriously speaking, if you want to buy something and there is a star buy, I think these are units that has an opportunity. But of course, today we are talking about CLAVON, a upcoming new launch, right? But at large, I can share many things even to use that is useful for projects at large. So for me to push leftover units with StarBuy, this is always my pitch, right? These are little window of opportunity that the developer also wants to build some momentum, throw out just to build momentum. Even with the very good sales that you're seeing, that we have seen just now for the last 4 months, okay? And now chart I will use is, I like to use this sales transaction. So you can see now, of course, this year I got the first half, I think it's probably about 4K plus transactions, okay? And of course, my point is very simple. You see, in 03, it is low transaction. We remember it's SARS. 08, we also know because of the cooling measures, there is and the Lehman Brothers, there is also low transactions, and here is due to the cooling measures, the TDFR. So one point to prove in this slide is there's nothing wrong buying at low transaction. In fact, everyone makes money, but if you buy at low transactions, it's just proven you probably make more money than people who buy at high transactions over here, high transactions, right? So of course, buying property is buying as early as you can, but all in all, buying at low transactions, I'm just going to prove one point, buying at low transactions actually is a wise thing to do, right? So there's a lot of window opportunity, okay? So I saw some raised hands. I don't know, is it you pressed wrongly or you really got questions, but later let's talk about questions and answer lah, okay? And, to me, I always say, our clients, there's always 3 stages of them. There's always people buying their first property. There's always people who wants to sell 1, buy 2 and create more wealth. And there's always people like some of my clients who they are so many property already, they also cannot sell already. So they are just paying ABSD and they're okay with paying ABSD. So for them, it's just a wealth preservation. So of course, these are the 3 stages that I have. So I felt importantly, as agent, you must have a standpoint, you must have an opinion. Whether it's 3 lock or 4 lock, there'll always be 2 answers, your clients. But you as an agent, you must always have your point of view and also have slides and numbers that you can bring through your point of view. Okay, so now of course, I felt we took people who buy property. Remember the first time you buy property, maybe in this cohort here, 200 over people, right? Some of your agents, you're probably buying your own first property, probably youngest one, or people like me, we are multiplying our property. So we have all these things that whether first timer, are you going to buy HDB flat, or are you going to buy a condo or buy landed? There's always these questions in my mind. But importantly, you see, I just felt sometimes agents at large okay, because I've been talking to so many agents in my life. I just felt sometimes agents say they are property agents, but how well do you know about property? So a very simple question. You see, today, I asked this question again. I asked this question before. So probably if any of Alvin or Zen want to answer, you all can come on and answer to it. So you see, today I hear, there is a Mercedes S-Class, I got lobang, 500,000. If you buy this Mercedes, 10 years later, right, Cycle and Carriage will buy back from you at 400,000. Would you want to buy this Mercedes S-Class? Wow, you chiong, you say, okay, wow, I'll buy this Mercedes, 500,000, drive 10 years, Cycle and Carriage buy back from me 400,000. Wow, who say I will buy? But today, if I ask you this question, I got lobang, $1 million property, after 10 years, can sell back $1 million, you want or not? You will say, oh, wow, I don't want. Buy 1 million, 10 years later, sell 1 million, I don't want. See, so this is a proof that actually you don't really understand real estate. A car, 500,000, sell 400,000, you want to buy. But a house, $1 million, sell $1 million, you don't want to buy. So in fact, if you look at it, property investment, there's three main category. There's always, of course, there's the cash flow, right? There's the principal and the capital appreciation. I think everyone is very interested in capital appreciation. Of course, you see, if you buy 1 million, you sell 1.2 million, good lah, you earn 200,000 of capital appreciation, which is a very strong thing in Singapore property, right? And number 2, you must remember, even though 1 million sell 1 million, if over the last 10 years you rent out your property, right? You will have two things being covered called the principal and the cash flow. Of course, if your installment is 5K and your rental is 6K, you got 1K cash flow all in all, that is a cash flow. But what if it is negative? There will still be a chance people are paying for your principal. You still have the principal that people pay for you, and after 10 years, there's still money coming back, if you know what I'm talking about. So that is the thing you must understand about property. All right. Of course, you may say, oh, Kevin, if I never rent out, okay, you'll never rent out, confirm you got no cash flow, but you may have capital appreciation. But for my case of a 1 million to 1 million, you still personally pay for your principal, and the interest rate, end of the 10 years, you still get back your principal, which is still a sort of like your own money coming back as a saving. I mean, they like to call it a saving, but I don't think it's a saving. But it's still your own money as a way of principal coming back into your pocket. So it's different components in property investment that I just felt agents, sometimes you all don't see. You keep focusing only on capital appreciation, which is not wrong. Singapore, definitely, I think the strongest things we have is capital appreciation, right? So till now, I hope you are learning something, all right? So in the beginning of my talk, I just want you to really focus on a couple of numbers, right? Transaction numbers, you must know by heart, right? The per square foot for the last couple of months, you must also know by heart, because these numbers, I'm using it to open up the buyer to believe, to see, to understand that, the market is not what they say that will stay, that will drop. It's actually going to be higher because of these numbers. Okay, and importantly, buying at low transactions is really a window of opportunity. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so I like to talk about dear is because my dear friends who want to buy their first property, sometimes they buy HDB, sometimes they buy condo. But in any case, let's look at a couple of history that I personally have gone through. You see, I remember this project which I always use because it's so useful. Okay, a panorama at Ang Mo Kio. All right. At the point, I remember in one floor when we launched a one bedroom for 431 square feet, it's about 500,000. And over the years after it MOP, it finishes it finishes SSD. They come out. Actually, this person easily make that 200,000 or so. But for Ang Mo Kio HDB flat, you can see my friends who have bought back in those days until today 2019, actually they hardly even break even. So you see, they wasted their 3-4 years of time, and their money didn't even hedge, and importantly, probably the CPF accrued interest already eat into their cash proceeds. So you can see this thing again in a sky view, right, where there is a HDB flat that is about 700,000, 1-3. After so many years, sell is still 700,000. Whereas a condo, 900,000, exit out at 1.2 million. And there's another example, Commonwealth Tower, which I like to see all these high value HDB flat. Ang Mo Kio la, Toa Payoh la, Bishan la. I probably can use a Toa Payoh as well, but a lot of high value HDB area is something that I like to talk about, which if you see, CLAVON happens to be also in a high value HDB area. All right, let's look at it. So Commonwealth Tower, you can see people buying at 700 plus, exit out at 900 plus. All right, and also you can see people buying Red Hill, exit is still the same price. So for your first time buyers who are toying between buying a resale HDB and a project, I think, of course, there are many small criteria, right? Oh, can they wait for the construction period and stuff like that? So I know the argument, but it's not for everybody. Some people say, oh, your 441 square feet only got 1 bedroom. I buy a 4-room flat got 3 bedroom. But seriously speaking, a lot of my personal friends, because I am not very old, my friends are like a couple of years back, they are like their late 20s, early 30s. So they are always having this mistake make. I felt in your early 20s, when you haven't settled down, husband and wife only, seriously think about it. Why would you need a 3-bedroom apartment? Most of the time, you are morning go out, at night come back. You're spending more time in the office, working, hustling out there than to stay at home. But people always like to enjoy first before they want to make money. For me, I want to make money first. So they got 3-bedroom. Sadly to say that I always see my friend convert one to walk-in wardrobe, one to a study room that they never study in. Don't know why call a study room. So actually, in fact, you can survive in a 1-bedroom. But I'm not talking about whether you got walk-in wardrobe or all this. But importantly is you must understand at a young age of 20 or 30 odds, first property, how can you make money work hard for you and stop working hard for money. Money should work hard for you, right? So the way they go in and they exit out and versus HDB, it's very clear. And honestly speaking, an old HDB flat today, I swear for the last couple of housewarming that I went for my friends, averagely they are spending, trust me, $150,000 for renovation easily. And these are all built-in costs. You buy a brand new Commonwealth Tower, do you need 150,000 renovation? Everything comes new aircon, new floorings and new cabinets, right? So a lot of hidden costs inside, opportunity costs that you don't see. Right, and of course, I think buying a condo definitely has a better outlook. Of course, to each his own. There will still, however, always be people wanting to spend 200,000-300,000 renovating their condo, to a very nice unit, or they always like to look at the number of bedrooms and they just thought, oh, big is good, and they realize they don't even spend time at home. All right, so this is my point. So today we're looking at CLAVON, and Clementi, it's not a cheap HDB place. Easily, you can see, I took this out from Reiner's slide. Clementi has HDB that has crossed $1 million mark. And do we see the same similar patterns versus if you buy a 2-bedroom in Clementi, I think probably $1 million versus a HDB flat that is $1 million, probably have one more room. All right, so I think if your $1 million HDB flat buy already can exit out at 1.3, 1.2 million, I'm sure your Park Clementis or your Clement canopies can do much better results, right? So today we look at a couple of of course today I felt probably the problem with most agents is you have a lot of projects that you don't know how to recommend. So for me, I always talk about a couple of things. Number one, I talk about the entry price, the land price of the project with my clients. I also talk about, secondly, the percentage of units sold. I'll explain to it a little bit more later. Okay, I used to talk about a third thing, which today's market probably after that, later I'll explain to you, right? So what is entry price? Okay, now let's look at case study TCC, the Clement canopy. So TCC, of course, is also launched by ERA. I remember without doing this project, you can always see each property, they always like to pull out the land price, and then they do some sums and they always come up with a break-even price. So I think it's quite accurate. Anyway, nobody is sure. Then you might ask me, how accurate is this? I don't think it can be. That's why it's only estimated. But the only accurate one I give you is the land price. That is for sure accurate. You understand? So you can see all in all, you top up with another $400-500, you probably get the break-even price, because this money goes into the marketing, the advertisement, the constructions, and the construction method, and the construction architecture. Some are cheaper to build, some are more difficult to build. You get what I mean? So in the middle of it, I think these are the costs that the developer has to hold. So you can see a couple of things we can see from these TCC. All right, you can see the new sales here are averagely, say, about the people who buy earlier. Okay, so you can see over here, these 2 units here. Okay, it's 1.7 million in the early 2017 when it's about to launch. You can see similar units. Okay, you see this is stack 01, right? So we got 38 and 3901 in stack 01, right? 3801, 3901. This is the date where I remember was the initial launch, right? You can see they generally bought at about 1.7 million. And even like just 1 year later, over here, right? This one, okay? You can see the price already, sorry, my mistake. This one, look at this one. All right, let me just delete it. Okay, look at this one. So this is 1401. This is 30 over floor 01. Just about when the developer did very well in the beginning, definitely they increased price. Eventually, this person came in at a lower floor, has to buy at a higher price. And of course, eventually today you see on the real market here in just August this year, people exited out at about 2 over million. So to me, I'm trying to say, hey, the timing of you entering a project is very important. I mean, no doubt, of course, this person entered in March 18. So 19 to 2000 and 2021, probably he can't sell yet. Next year, then can sell, right? So we do not know next year's market, how is it? Probably is even higher or we don't know. But you see, but all in all, in the beginning, the price that they enter, right, it's already different. And especially here, you can see higher floor buy cheaper than lower floor. So the timing of entering into a new launch is very important, okay? And I give you an example of this project. Okay, this project, it's a project that I was the DD in charge, back then with Guofeng is also doing this project. It's called what? Forest Wood, right? So you can see Forest Wood is very interesting. I remember this Stack 29 in particular. Why it's interesting? Guys, you can see across the years from I initial launch on day 1 all the way until the tail end of the project. For Stack 29, you can see Stack 29, the prices have went up from 1.2 something all the way up 300,000 to 1.5 something. And you can see, this unit is 9th floor. This unit is 3rd floor. This is 4th floor. And it's almost so much more expensive than the higher floor unit. So you see, this is something that is rewarding for people who take action as what we call the first mover advantage. All right. Of course, then you might be thinking that what if initially the projects don't sell well? Do we have projects that don't sell well in the beginning? Have lah. I really remember have. I remember Florence first day only sell 5%. So of course, then this is the advice that the agent must be able to give to your client. It's very easy to tell from the check collection, you know how is it going to do on day 1 already. From Penrose, do you know the day 1 you can predict is going to do well? 1,500 checks, right? So buying Penrose is buy that day 1 or buy now. Today, developer already 69-70% sold already. Will they decrease their price? No, they will increase, right? But of course, I'm not saying that then today cannot buy Penrose. Eventually, there is still a lot of cases. You buy later, a little bit increase. At the end of the day, you are still going to be profitable. But of course, if you can buy lower, who doesn't want, right? So of course, you ask me, Florence, I think, those who buy later probably have a better discount or something. But it all depends on how you as an agent recommend to your buyer. Okay, so Forest Wood, I really remember this Stack 29. Wow, the price can jump there from 1.27, 374757, almost 300K increase in the same stack over the last 3 years. Okay, learn something? That's something I personally how I look at it. Clement Canopy, you can tell today's market, we can have average of about exiting out at about 1,547. There is also a high exiting of about 1,731. So I think such project, I like it because there is a good comparison side by side. Just like Penrose, there is a project beside to compare. All right, an older project that is not too old, just a couple of couple of inch in, like a year in front. So Urban Oasis can compare very well for Penrose to judge Penrose positioning. So I felt for CLAVON, Clement Canopy TCC can actually be a very good gauge. So very simple. If your resale TCC can go out at 1.7, averagely 1.5 XX per square foot, you can really well determine what is a good entry price of the CLAVON. Okay, and of course, I took this out from Rainer. I think these are very clearly to say that, of course, in CLAVON, those who went in early at 1.3 plus square feet, today they exit out at about 1.5, 1.6, and they have a good 3.5, 13%, 3.5 years, over 3.5 years, about 13% return. All right, and of course, thanks to CLAVON launching, if I'm an owner staying in TCC, I'll be very happy to wait a little bit more. Okay, and of course you can see jolly well in choosing a property, different stacks have a different profit range lah. How come some people make 70 over 1,000, some people make 300 over 1,000? You know, there's always within the same project that is good doesn't mean everybody gets to make the same price. It's a lot to do with your entry price. I give you an example. I have two friends who bought the same project somewhere. It's in Sengkang. All right, one face a swimming pool, one face a guardhouse. Can I ask you which is a better unit? No need to say, right, the swimming pool one is a better unit, right? But can I tell you, both of them are exited out recently. One make 100 over 1,000, the other make 300 over 1,000. And my friend who owns the one facing the guardhouse make the 300 over 1,000, more than the swimming pool one. Why? Very simple. My friend who is buying the guardhouse one buy earlier and buy cheaper and exited out earlier than the other one because of the SSD. So he exited out at a better market in 1.8 and make more profits there, mainly due to the entry price difference. Okay, they are all both similar type of layout, not same layout but similar size. All right, so see, entry is very important. Okay, and TCC I can also tell you, of course, they just SSD just finished, so you don't have a lot of transactions, but you can see bigger units exited up. You see, because I sort by profits. You can see bigger profits are by bigger units, smaller profits, smaller units. Then you can see the trend line probably in that area is a key indication. Bigger units, 3-bedroom, more 吃香啦, more 畅销. So in the resale market, of course, having a bigger area, which is a result of your profit. But hey, it's not true. Okay, I show you one example. Commonwealth Tower, I sort out by the highest profit. Then you can see where are all the big units. Nowhere. You can see all the small units has a better profit than the big units. So this tells me that area people are geared to this kind of units. So buying a 2-bedroom or a 1-bedroom may be wiser compared to a TCC, probably a lot of MOP people, EC people coming on to buy. They cannot buy a 1-bedroom. They want to buy the bigger units, right? So you can see also, like example, in High Park Residences, where I sort by the profit. This is number one. It is also the big units in your case, not the small units. So you can see in different locations, there will be different strategy, right? So for me, I like to really give my consumers, my buyers advice, and I don't like to just tell them, buy new launch, sure make money one. Why? Don't know lah, just buy lah. Of course lah, you can still do sales like that, but if you want stable and you can really be different, and your client will take your advice, and even anything, they will always come back to you. You have to learn how to look at this property yourself and understand how to talk to them about what they should take action. I use all this for myself as well. I don't only just use it for my clients. Okay, and now we look at another I'll say competitor lah. Of course we are also doing it. Park Clementis, right? Also selling very well. Park Clementis, you can also see land price. It's over here at 850 per square foot per plot ratio. Break even is 1,343. Whereas just how you see Park Clementi TCC, it's about $1,000 odd lah. So you see $1,000 odd eventually launch at 1,003. Today people are exiting out at about 1,005, 1,006. So now we got a new plot of land in 2020, 2021. All right, it's in 2020 called Park Clementis. They break even is 1,3 something. So of course you look at their launch price, you can also see it's over the last 1 year. They have also slightly increased their price because I'm sure there's not no resale lah. These are all new sales, right? So you can see averagely 1.6 and all that. So you can see people who buy earlier also have taken advantage. Why? Very simple ma. It's already almost 70% sold ma. So there will be the first 10%, then there will be a 20%. Then on the day one, there will be, as you go on, it will just increase the price. So for such project, taking action in the earlier stage is always good lah. Okay, so now let's zoom into CLAVON. We have here compared to 788 compared to our Park Clementi's 850 from M block, you can clearly see it has a lower land price. And you talk about the break even 1343, okay lah, predicted over here 1334. They're about same break even. So for me, this project, it's very stable. There's a lot of support. There will be TCC as a very good side-by-side support. There is also a support from Park Clementi's, and there's support from the $1 million HDB flats. I think this makes it a very good place to look at. So let's look at CLAVON. I mean, I like to do my own recommendation. Very simple. All right. Break-even price, we talk about 10% profit, then developer should be launched at this price. If we talk about 15%, then it's about this price. But importantly, I do not know the price. I don't think anyone knows the price. But if you're the developer today, what sort of price will you be trying? I'm not so sure. Probably you want to try over here, and you make a 25% profit. Right, which is a little bit higher than what most developers are doing. Most are doing around here, right? Wow, it's a place raining because I'm in office now and it's raining heavily. I hope you can still hear me. All right. I hope the network is stable because of the thunderstorm. But never mind. So I think developer at large also okay. But of course, this developer already tastes blood. It's the same developer as a TCC so I think tastes blood now. So they probably have more confidence. And of course, recently, these 4 months do so well. I mean, touch your heart. If you're the developer, also you think otherwise, right? Think up or think down. So, well, we'll see. But I think today's developers are also very cautious. Like Penrose as an example. They will launch in the beginning. They will definitely test the market and increase the price accordingly. So definitely this project, I'm seeing a huge number of checks coming in. I'll definitely see that if you want to buying in the beginning so that they are more careful, they will price themselves more careful. I think it's more important. All right. So remember, TCC already have 17 plus. You check back here, I don't even have 17 plus. So that is a very possible price. But that means if you can find somewhere here, I think really just text your customer just text your customer MTL 卖图了 faster go inside. Because you see, if not, these are the prices that people are already doing in the Clement canopy. Okay, so of course, I think Rainer has shared with us the surrounding prices, which I think is very important. All right, these are all our projects. Park Clementi's already hit a 17, Kenridge 19, which is nearby in District 5 as well. Sengkang Grand is about 18, and Florence is already about 17. Florence before that was much cheaper, So I mean, of course, they did well. They increased the price again, just like Affinity lah. Okay, so I think CLAVON has this number of units, 640 units, and over 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. So I definitely think this kind of units will be the most profitable. But of course, to each its own, it depends on your needs, right? There's no right and wrong, right? And of course, if you take the size, like what we have done, if you look at the price trend line over, I think, I don't know whether do you want to look at here or not lah. I look at overall here. These are the quantum that is very interesting. We look at here 1 over million for a 2-bedroom, or you want to buy a resale HDB flat, which one has a more exit potential, all right? And of course, I always like to see how far is the break-even price versus the per square foot price. In a tolerance of about $100 over, I think that is a sweet spot for me. Okay, and recently I think yesterday or something, we have 2 lands being GLS being bidded, and we can see from here, one in Yishun, one in Tanah Merah. So the Tanah Merah one, you can see that the break-even price is probably about this price. And if you look at our chart, then if you look at this chart here, Tanah Merah is probably going to be at this kind of price, if same size lah, you know what I mean? I'm just taking, but now if we can shift this thing over to the front, over at here somewhere, I really think this is a very fair entry price for this upcoming launch, and at the location and all the schools nearby. And I think I leave the selling to the project DD. I'm not the expert, they probably are the expert. I definitely think there is a first mover advantage, right? I mean, for right now, I always like to bring my clients to look at projects that are very near to their break-even price of about $100 to $150 there, and I like to see the project percentage. That's the reason. I mean, that's the reason why Rive is having a huge discount, right? That's the reason, because they didn't launch like 80% so, right? So eventually, such project, you see, is beneficial to buy right now. When they don't do well, the developer will adjust the price. But if you look at Rive, the per square foot that they have now, they are almost at their break-even price. Even if after this still don't sell, I don't think the developer will go any more below already. This is the rock bottom price already. So for you to take action on CCR, I really think then that is a price that you should definitely go in, because it's the rock bottom, and it's all thanks to that uncertainty we're having, right? But for the second thing I look at, I told you, first thing I look at the entry price. Secondly, I look at the percentage sold. So for Rive, you can see in the beginning, it's probably just that small percentage being sold. That's a very clear indicator. If the project has a huge percentage sold, probably like Penrose, right now you're probably going to go in at a higher price. But I'm not saying that's wrong, but I have to be very upfront with my buyer, right? It's already increased in a little bit of price, right? So I still remember Florence residence, probably first day sold like maybe 5%. Wow. Then this one is a project that the developer will eventually adjust the price, and then that is a very good entry, right? And of course, before this I always look at a third indicator Honestly speaking, I look at the whether there is a lot of reissue case inside that project This is no secret But example, like certain project, if you got a high number of options being reissued, definitely I mean, will the developer drop the price? If you are having a handful of options being churned, that you drop the price, who wants to continue? So the developer definitely will not drop the price, right? Of course, that is my own key indication that I talk to my clients about. Okay, all right, and of course, there's many things I mean, there's many things to talk about, but you must have your own sets of point of view and numbers and philosophies to go and talk to your clients. You see, so definitely, I think for CLAVON, the first mover advantage is very important.